So here is the current Dunlop AT82. You know, just got some chunking coming out, some cracked knobbies. There's the wearing down here. All in all, this was a really good tire though. I was pretty happy with it. I do most of my riding out at Glen Helen. And this definitely hooks up out there. So much so, I almost looped out on the start a couple times. But I want to switch it up a little bit. I can never quite get my starts dialed in. So once again, of course, I'm blaming the tire. So I'm going to swap it out to the MX34, which is a very popular SoCal motocross tire. And we'll see what I think of that. All right, we got the MX34 put on, the KTM 350. I went with a 110 by 90. The last tire I had on there was 120 by 90. So curious to see how this is gonna feel. Hopefully it feels a little lighter. Got some nice knobbies on here. I'm gonna give it a go tomorrow. I'm racing out at Glen Helen tomorrow. 40 plus C-class race. Hopefully I don't loop the start. And I also put the MX34 front on as well. It had the MX34 front on it, but it had 40 hours on it. It actually looked pretty good, but I'm curious to see what difference I feel. So I just finished racing the KTM out at Glen Helen yesterday with a fresh set of Dunlop MX34 tires on there. I'm coming off the Dunlop AT82, and in comparison, I would say they both have their strengths. The Dunlop AT82 seems to track better when the track is ripped deep. So first moto or practice session, fresh in the morning when the track is freshly groomed, that Dunlop AT82 just seems to move a little bit more dirt. Where the MX34 really shines is later in the day when the track gets slick and rough and hard pack. I just felt like the MX34 tracked a little bit better and was less busy in that Glen Helen chop. It also felt a little bit lighter. That could be because the MX34 I'm running a 110 by 90, as with the AT82 I was running a 120 by 90. So that 82 felt more of that torquey, almost tractor pull type of feel. But I noticed in the Glen Helen chop, it just got a little bit busy in the back. And with the MX34, I just feel a little bit more finesse. I feel like I have a little bit more feel for traction with the 34. Both good tires. The differences are pretty minimal. But overall, I would say, I think I like the MX34 a little bit better. It just felt a little less busy. And off the start, I'm not a good starter at all, really. However, I was able to pull pretty good starts with the MX34. I didn't loop out or anything like that. I say that because I almost looped out with the 82 one time. But the power was very predictable and it stayed nice and straight. So both good tires, but for running out at Glen Helen, where I do most of my riding, and SoCal tracks here where, you know, it gets slick and hard packed quite often, I think the MX34 is just a little bit more predictable.